Hello everyone, welcome to tonight's market review session with us at EasyFX Academy. As usual, we do this because we want to just have that overall weekly bias to what exactly we are expecting to happen during the course of the next coming week, all right? So that we just know, are we expecting this commodity to buy? Are we expecting it to sell? Are we expecting it to consolidate? What exactly should we be looking for or looking towards when it comes to said commodities, all right? So that's why we do this. And this happens every Sunday evening, 9 p.m. All right, so let's just go into the charts quickly and see what we have for the currency indices first. All right, so we do the currency indices first. Why? Because we want to just have a general idea of the strength or the possibility of strength or weakness for each currency. All right, is the dollar going to be weak? Are we expecting the pounds to be weak? Are we expecting Canadian dollar to be strong? All right, all those type of things. So let's look at DXY, which is the US dollar index. On the daily time frame, I'm seeing that there's every possibility for us to get DXY become strong. All right, so I'm overall kind of bullish on DXY, but preferably I have a demand zone I'm watching out for price to still drop into. Sweep liquidity from this trend line here, all right, and then comfortably drop into that demand zone. All right, my demand zone currently is sitting between 101.986 and 101.287. All right, 101.986 and 101.287. All right, you can see that there's a fair value gap around there that I'm currently going to be watching out for as my demand zone area also. All right, so on the daily time frame, all right, so this is something I can corroborate whatever you're seeing on the 4-hour time frame. I guess that there are some brokers that would allow you to trade DXY as a commodity. So for those of us who have such brokers, I think it's a good week to look for buys. All right, and that being said, I'm quite bullish, all right, on the US dollar during this coming week. I hope that is clear. All right, let's quickly look at BXY, also the Great British Pound Currency Index, and I think the reverse is the case for what I'm watching out for on BXY. I'm watching out for BXY to be bearish. Oh, give me a minute, please. I think I didn't mark that out on my chart, but let me just quickly do that now. All right, I'm expecting BXY to be bearish during the course of the coming week. As far as we don't get to break above this supply zone and 130.30 and 129.70. All right, so you've seen that price has broken below this previous pivot area here, or above rather this previous pivot area, and I've seen it become a support to push price towards the upside. So one of the things that we can do to just get a possible point for a retracement would be to plot our Fibonacci, and we'll see that currently price is in our zone of interest, all right, on the Fibonacci, and then that should be pointing us towards the fact that we're expecting GBP or BXY to be bearish during the course of the coming week. All right, so I want to be watchful for that now. Like I said, as far as I don't get to see price break above this point, I think this will still hold because you see that there was a huge gap, and then on that, there's something on the daily that you see on the daily clearly. All right, so for this week, let's see BXY turning just a little bearish. All right, so overall this week, I think I'll be bearish on BXY. Just a little bit of a retracement, then maybe we can see price continue bullish. All right, next up, let's look at AXY, the Australian Dollar Currency Index, and I think also I am going to be quite bearish on AXY. Again, I'm watching out for AXY to become bearish from this point. I have the supply zone here. It's sitting around 67.54 and 67.10. All right, so I'm just watching out for that initial push when price opens towards that supply zone, and then we get to see our sell off. All right, so you see that I'm not really taking too much time to explain what I'm saying on the currency indices, all right, because we're just trying to get an idea of the strength of those individual pairs and of those individual currency indices rather before we look at the pairs. All right, so for CXY also, I'm expecting something similar, a buy to sell sort of scenario into our supply zone around here. This is between 73.40 and 73.20. All right, so you can see that these are all things we're looking out for on the daily and 4-hour time frame because we want to have a broader view of what we expect to happen during the course of the week. So I think this is very fair, but it's something that's very likely to happen on CXY. And for JPY basket, last but not least, I think we've said this so many times that we're expecting JPY basket to start continuing its bearish move that it has been going on or that it has been on for a while. And we've seen price come into a very good supply zone. I've seen a very good rejection from there. So I think we can still watching out for JPY basket to be bearish. We might get to see a bit of a retracement during the course of the week though. So something towards this end, but I think overall I am bearish on JPY basket. All right, so I'm very sure that is clear on JPY basket. All right, so at this point in time, oh, give me a minute. You can't join. Give me a minute. Try to restart your. All right, so all right, I just saw someone's message saying that they couldn't join, so I had to quickly reply them. All right, so let's continue. So that's what I'm expecting, for Gbpcad basket during the course of, or the currency indices in general anyway, during the course of the week. All right, so at this point in time, if you have any commodities you love for us to look at, any currency pair you love for us to look at together, feel free to drop them in any of the chat sections, and I will be sure to look, or we'll be sure to look at them together. And not say this is a collective thing. We're going to do it together. All right, so let's go on. Let's just start with gold. The reason why we're starting with gold is because I believe gold is everybody's favorite. Mr. Fanny Bay, as usual, you will never come with just one commodity for us to look at. You'll be like 20 for us to look at. So we'll look at it together. So no problem. All right. So this is gold on the daily time frame. And as you can see, gold has taken a new high, or a new all-time high. Yes, gold. Don't worry. I knew that it's because of people like you. So I know everybody likes gold. All right. So we'll look at gold first. So as I was saying earlier, all right, we have seen that gold has taken up a new high, all right, and if we corroborate that with the fact that we're expecting gold, we're expecting DXY rather to gain some level of strength, then it means pairs against DXY we might get to some bearish moves when it comes to pairs against DXY, or commodities or currencies rather against DXY, all right. So I think I'm watching out for gold to sell during the course of this week. I want to be careful, so I'm not necessarily going to give us a zone for that sell to start off from. All right, but I think we can be watching out for sales on DXY during the course of the week. Saying that price has just gotten to a new 88 all-time high. We just want to see price possibly come back down, clear liquidity from any fair value gap that have been left behind. Maybe this small one here, this little bit of a guy here, this one has been covered, but we might still get to see price drop a fair bit. All right, at least maybe even to somewhere. All right, so this was the previous, so maybe to somewhere around the previous all-time high, around 2483, all right, 0.29. So we'll be watching out for that. Let me see if we can get something similar on the line chart. Yes, it's still basically the same thing I see on the line chart. I'm seeing this little pivot here, so we might get to see that pivot actually give us a little bit of a bump. Come back to the candle. All right, so we might get to see price drop into this pivot and then buy again. All right, but I think for now you can just watch out for price to sell at least to this point. This current demand that I just marked out is around 2495.01 and 2491.47. So at least I'm expecting sales to happen till that point, and then maybe we get to see buys on gold. Maybe, but overall I think I'm very bearish on gold during this coming week. All right, so I hope that is clear for gold. Let's look at USD card also. So we'll look at EuroCard, EURNZD, EURGBP, Mr. Fanny Bear, shortly. Again, if you have any commodities you love for us to look at, please do also just drop them in any of the chat sections. I'll look at them. So for you, Mr. Michael, I hope that was clear for gold, what I expect to happen on gold. All right, so quickly let's look at USD card. I think last week I was expecting that USD card would drop from this range. I'm going to see that happen, though slowly. All right, but surely it has. We've seen that happen. All right, so in this case, we've seen that price range for quite some time before we finally got to see that beautiful drop that we just saw, or that we just saw on Friday rather. And currently, I'm watching out for price to still drop a little bit into our demand zone. This is on the 2-hour time frame. So this is around 1.36696 and 1.36263. Again, the coordinates are 1.36696 and 1.36263. All right. Mr. Michael said I should check 4 hours on gold. All right, so we'll come back to that shortly. But for USD card, this is what I am expecting on USD card, that buy from where we are right now. All right, I hope that is clear. Let me quickly go back to gold because we have a lot of commodities to check out together. So let's see on the 4-hour time frame. Now, basically, I'm still expecting the same thing to happen on the 4-hour time frame. Maybe I should just delete this. The reason why I went out to the 2-hour time frame so I'll be able to see a better refinement. But you can see on the 4-hour time frame, we've had a very, very impulsive bullish candle that broke above the previous all-time high, which means that price is definitely continue or wants to continue bullish or has that intention to continue bullish. But as we know, the markets will never just move in just one direction, just like that. We'll have an impulse and then you have a retracement. All right. So currently we've seen a very good impulse. So what we should be waiting for, watching out for possibly right now. Oh, sorry, this is on the daily time frame. What we should be watching out for right now should be sort of retracement. All right. So this was the impulse move. All right. So we might be expecting a short retracement maybe to this point. And then maybe we get to continue for the buy, or we get to see that retracement go as far down as maybe here, as far down as here. Reason why I'm using that is that's just that point rather is because that's just a previous point of resistance, or that's a previous resistance around there. So I'll be watching out for any of these, but safely for me, once price gets into this point, that the zone I gave earlier around 2495.01 and 2491.47, then I'll be very, very careful for that. Mr. Jola also is saying that the live is not going on at his end. Hey, how do we remedy this? All right, maybe we'll find a way to get that fixed. Sorry. So that's what I'm expecting on gold. Mr. Michael Fanny Bear, right? Sorry, Mr. Michael Folorenshaw. All right, so I hope that is clear. All right, Mr. Jola has finally joined us. Great, that's great. That's amazing. You're welcome, sir. All right, so I hope that is clear for what I was saying on gold. So I would see this demand zone still play out possibly. But all the same, watching that this would be a more preferable move for me, at least to see price drop as far back as 2469.60. All right, but let's just see that retracement finally also happen on gold. Let's watch out for retracement on gold during the course of this week. All right, so let me just quickly go back to Usdcad to what we're saying on Usdcad. So for Mr. Michael Folorenshaw, I hope that is clear now. All right, so for Usdcad, like I said earlier, I'm watching out for buys on Usdcad during the course of the week. My current demand zone is between 1.36696 and 1.36263. All right, so we've seen that price was ranging for quite some time, finally broke below the range. All right, so let's watch out for price to buy now. All right, that will give you some form of AMD pattern if at all you are a trader that focuses on things like that. All right, so let's just watch out for bullish moves to happen on USDcad during the course of the week. Next up is GBPUSD. I think for GBPUSD, I can give zones here. All right, so I'm watching out for GBPUSD to turn bearish during the course of the week. One of the things I'm watching out for right now, all right, is to see that price has swept liquidity, all right, from here, this point around here, this previous high around here, which will say that the candle that closed above it, or the candle that closed above it rather. So we can just watch for price to still push up a little bit into this zone. This supply zone currently that we have is around 1.30027 and 1.29567. 1.30027 and 1.29567. That is my current supply zone on GBPUSD, where I'm watching out for sales to happen from. All right, so that's my basic bias on GBPUSD without taking too much of our time. GBPJPY also, I think we have something fairly similar. I'm watching out for GBPJPY to still buy. At least to this point, this is around 195.817. All right, but the reason why I cannot give, or I would not be giving, a preferable zone for that, for you to enter in for that buy, because I've seen that currently prices using this fair value gap around here as a support. All right, so push price towards the upside as a demand zone. All right, so let's just watch out for that to happen. Maybe get to that buying to there, then maybe possibly we might be able to get sales. But I think for this week, I am still quite bullish on GBPJPY. Let me look at Gbpcad also. Gbpcad, yes. So I remember that I was looking for a buy of Gbpcad. I think this has been since, imagine, earlier in the month. All right, but currently I think I might be going bearish on Gbpcad. Reason being that we've seen that price currently is at a very, very interesting spot. I'm seeing a correlation between my Fibonacci zone and also a previous trend line that was broken. All right, but somehow price has now come towards that region again. All right, so we saw that the price trend line was broken, became a point for a retest, a break and retest for this initial sell that got price towards this point. So I'm seeing price getting towards that area again. All right, and my current sell zone is around 1.78038 and 1.77492. I'll take it again, 1.78038 and 1.77492. That's what I'm watching out for sales on Gbpcad. All right, so can see that price hasn't really gotten there, but let's just watch out for price to still push towards that end, and then we get to see our sales on Gbpcad. All right, next up, let's see AUDUSD. All right, so we'll look at AU, we'll look at EU, maybe a couple of other guys, then we'll take everybody's we'll take the commodities that people dropped. All right, so for AUDUSD, I think we're saying the same thing, or we're expecting the same thing that we're seeing on GBPUSD also. I'm watching out for price to still push towards push towards the upside rather a little bit, and then we get to see our sell. All right, so my coordinates is between 0.67445 and 0.66919. I'll come again, 0.67445 and 0.66919 is my sell zone on AUDUSD. All right, so price has given us good push from here, and now I'm just expecting a sell. All right, and again, let me just clarify this, because I usually draw my my arrows and make it look like as if I'm expecting price to go so far down. No, I think a safe spot that the sell might end up getting to might be somewhere around here, maybe just this low. All right, but we might still get to see it extend past that anyway. But this is what I'm just watching out for, something similar to this on AUDUSD. So basically, I'm watching out for more reasons to enter for sales during the course of this week on AUDUSD. Next up is EUROUSD, and something similar to what we've said. All right, on gold, I'm watching out for EURUSD to sell also, but like I said for gold, I'm not really going to give us a zone for that sell to happen, from reason being that currently I'm seeing that price has just been going towards the upside. It's just flying. It has just decided to keep flying and flying. And give me a minute. Let me delete some of these things here. All right, so I think it's very likely for us to still see a little bit of a push towards the downside on EURUSD. We've seen price get into a very strong looking order block. Though the reason why I'm being skeptical about this is because this candle here is a rejection candle, all right, showing that there's a form of resistance. This candle that you can see as a rejection candle, all right, showing that there's a form of resistance somewhere there. All right, so I want to see if we'll just get that sell into that point, at least sell move, all right, on EURUSD up to this point, at least up to this point, before we continue for a buy. All right, so that's just basically my bias on EURUSD during the course of this week. Again, I just use the majority of the candle on the 4-hour time frame. This is the majority of this candle that came before this impulsive move. All right, to mark out when I'm expecting that sell to end. All right, and that's between 1.09461 and 1.09142. All right, but I think overall, with all the mumbo jumbos I've said, all right, I'm still expecting EURUSD to drop towards the downside. Again, let's look at GBPNZD. Gbpnzd. All right, so for GBPNZD, I have something I have something interesting to look at here. Let me go down to maybe the 1-hour time frame for this, because it is fairly interesting. All right, so we've seen that price currently gave us a bullish move, or a bullish impulsive move around here, and now we've seen that price has actually broken a previous trend line. All right, and then we've had a proper break and retest of that trend line. What do I mean? We saw something like this. All right, so something like this, and then we've got to see price break. All right, showing us a potential change of character around here. Give me a minute. Around here. All right, potential, like I said, and then we got to see and then we got to see price come back to retest this trend line, and then we're seeing that sell happening from there on GBPNZD. All right, so I want to still watch out for something like that to continue, and it is very likely that we might get to see that sell go as far down as here. All right, so maybe I should just use this point. Yes, this seems viable. So something like this is what I'm watching out for on GBPNZD. GBPNZD should still continue bearish. All right. Yeah. So this is what I'm watching out for on GBPNZD. We've seen a simple break and retest of a trend line. Price is still going towards the downside. Price probably is going to still come and sweep all the liquidity from all the points on this trend line. Use that as a reason to push towards the downside, clear liquidity from this imbalance left behind, and then we might get to see our buy from somewhere around maybe towards this lower end. All right, so you can see that this zone I'm marking out right now might be a bit large. So let's see if we can find something a bit more slimmer if we use our Fibo. So we can just push it down to somewhere here. All right, so something like this is what I'm watching out for on Gbpnzd. Yeah, so this is what I'm watching out for on Gbpnzd. So at least I'm expecting myself to last till around 2.12245 and 2.11796 on Gbpnzd. So I hope that is clear on Gbpnzd. Like I said, I find this very interesting somehow. All right, so let's look at EURAUD next. I think that's not one of the things that Mr. Fanny Bay asked for, but all the same, let's quickly look at it. And currently on EURAUD, I want to be very careful. All right, I'm very mindful. I want to be very demure on EURAUD. If you don't know what I just said now, don't bother about it. Don't bother about it. I've spent a bit too much time on TikTok. All right, so on EURAUD, I've seen a little bit of this pattern. Let's use this. So we've seen this head and shoulders sort of pattern being formed on EURAUD, and that being said, I think it's very likely for us to still get to see EURAUD drop. I don't have any points exactly that I'll be giving where the drop, as far as where the drop should stay to. All right, but you can just mark out previous support and resistances, and then use that as potential endpoints for your sales. So let's see. Let me wait for. So for an entry on this now, you might just wait out for whatever entry criteria you use. One thing I usually advocate for a lot, not a lot, but still, one thing I can usually advocate for is for you to watch out for maybe sort of break and retest from any of these points. All right, so we might get to see maybe price drop a little bit, come back down, retest any of these previous supports, and then we get to see price drop towards the downside, and that will work quite well. Alternatively, let's check the line chart if we'll be able to find potential zones. All right, for price to maybe give us, okay, so we might be able to then mark out, I'll be able to mark out maybe somewhere like here. All right, and then candles. So this might be a point. All right, so let's watch out for what price we do when we get to. We might get to price break below this current zone, and then use that zone for a retest, and then continue towards the downside, at least towards the downside. So just in case you need the coordinates for that, that's between 1.64728 and 1.64265. So you might just easily wait for a break and retest of that zone, and then get to enter for your sell on EURAUD. So that's sort of my overall bias on what I'm expecting on EURAUD. I have two more commodities I want to look at personally, and then we'll look at everybody's. Mr. Jola also has asked for BTCUSD, so we'll look at that also, sir. So second to the last on what I want to look at personally, all right, NZDUSD. So basically like what we said for GBPUSD, EURUSD, AUDUSD, and all of the likes. I'm watching out for price to just give us a little bit of a push towards this upside, and then get to see our sell-off on NZDUSD. My current supply zone is between 0.60724 and 0.60577. Again, 0.60724 and 0.60577 is what I'm watching out for sales from on NZDUSD. And last but not the least, for this market review from my end, we'll look at EURNZD. So yeah, for EURNZD, I think we have a bit of a reverse case for what I just said. We are saying price. I'm expecting rather price to buy. This was a previous zone. I think this was a previous pivot that we marked out a long time ago. Yes, and we've seen that play out quite well. First of all, it was a resistance around the price broke above, it became a support. Price came back, support, and then we've seen a fair bit of, some moves happen around that end. I think we might still be watching out for price to still buy from somewhere around there. All right, the zone is between 1.81577 and 1.81079, 1.81577 and 1.81079. So I'm watching out for price to still keep enjoying itself and sweeping liquidity from this imbalance that it is currently enjoying from. All right, so towards this downside, and then we get to see the buy happen from there on EURNZD. So I hope that is clear for all we have, just from my end. So quickly, let's look at everybody's, the request that everybody made. All right, so for Mr. Fanny Bear, I've touched EURNZD. Let me quickly check EURGBP for you, and then we'll look at EURGBP. All right, so for Interesting. So I think this was something we did. I don't remember if this was on Thursday or maybe our last market review session. This was EURGBP. We expected EURGBP to give us this buy and then sell. So we got to see that happen so well. So well, got the buy from this zone exactly, and then we're getting to see a price still sell. So I think in that wise, we might still be watching out for EURGBP to continue with its sell. Currently we're seeing price. Let me delete this now. Good. So currently the same price give us a bit of, I won't call this a major change of character anyway. All right, because the same price did something like this. So let me just use this as our low. Same price is something like this, make a lower high, and it seems to want to make a lower low. All right, so let's see. Oh, this will have been a very good point to enter from. This will have been a nice point to enter from. All right, but all the same, let's see. I think if we're watching out for price to continue bearish, then where should we expect our entry? Where should we expect to stop out on our bearish buyers? And let's just plot our fib and see if we can get any interesting zones. I'm not necessarily comfortable with the zones I'm seeing currently. Give me a minute, please. Let's see. All right, so on a broad frame, I could easily just mark out here. But that won't necessarily satisfy me right now. So let's see. Currently, I have this previous support here. So this previous resistance here. This is around 0.84604, depending on your broker. Those values might differ. All right, but I want to watch out for price to still get there. That would be at least where I'm expecting price to get to before we finish off, or we finish up on our sell for the meantime. But let me see. I'm trying to find a very good point for us to get a re-entry. And I'm trying to. Okay. All right. So we might still get to see as price entered there or something like that. So that won't work. All right. So let me just do it like this. This previous low here. All right. This previous low here that we have. This is around. Let me mark it out. So this is around 0.85113. 0.85113. If at all you're able to, you're looking for a re-entry, it might be safer right now to watch out for price to still drop a bit, come back there, and then we get to see, we get to see our sell continue from there. So let me just redraw that. All right, so something towards this end is what I'm watching out for on EURGBP. So yeah, that's what I'm watching out for on EURGBP. You might as well just decide to put your entry around here. Stop loss just a little bit above this previous high here, and then your big profit can be so 1.55. So something like this is what you might be watching out for on EURGBP during the course of the coming week. But yeah, I think it's fair enough to say that you might just be watching out for more sales rather on EURGBP. This zone I've marked out here, I want to be very watchful for that. I've seen a lot of long wick candles, and that is telling me that those candles could easily act as inducements, all right, for price to take out before we get to see a buy from. Or a buy from there. So I want to be watchful till at least that point. But I think this is a very good place to just take up profit from. All right, so I have that is clear for EURGBP. I've talked about EURNZD earlier. Let's quickly look at EUROCAD. EUROCAD, where are you? EUROCAD. Yeah, so EUROCAD. And then we'll look at BTCUSD finally for the night. All right, so let me just confirm that we don't have any other commodities to look at. I think so, yes. So for EuroCAD, I think we might still be able to use a fair bit of, what they call this stuff again, correlation. All right, I think we might see EuroCAD sell, but that's just me using correlation. So let's look at it from what we can exactly see on the chart. Let's go up to the daily time frame. Okay. Prices in the daily supply. So overall, we might be expecting more sales on EuroCAD. That being said, we've seen price move. Okay. We've seen price negate the general idea of having a proper sell. So it can, if we got to see price break below this, then I'll be more comfortable to play out with this EuroCAD. For the sell at least, but we didn't get to see that. We saw that prices still moving towards the upside. So what exactly is price doing right now? We have reactions from Give me a minute. I'm saying something, but I want to be I want to be extremely sure. Okay. So I'm very big when it comes to support and resistance because I get to see them play out so well in the markets these days. All right, so this is what I'm watching out for on EUROCAD right now. On EUROCAD, yeah. So we might get to see price continue bearish on EUROCAD. All right, and then maybe even get to this point. And currently on the 1 hour time frame, this reaction seems to be quite fair enough. Let me use the line chart on maybe the 4 hour time frame. We should be able to see, yes, we should be able to see a point where we've got to see that reaction from. So this area here was a sort of pivot for us. And then let me come back to the candle. Yeah, we got to see price tap into that. Very good. So I think I'm bearish here. I'm still bearish on EuroCAD. So I want to watch out for EuroCAD to break or to drop as far back as this point. As far back as here on EuroCAD. Yeah. So that's what I'm watching out for on EuroCAD right now. Again, I want to be very careful because I'm using correlation and I'm using just what I can see based off of the line chart interpretation. All right, but I want to be careful because currently price hasn't given me what I would say, is a definitive formation of, a bearish trend. All right, you got to see that definitely we saw price reacting from a daily support, a daily order block for a sell. All right, the daily supply zone. We've seen that move happen. However, we're seeing that currently price is not giving us that actual sell structure. All right, so we see that price has made a lower low or a lower high rather, but I've not seen a lower low yet. That's why I'm very skeptical about this sell. But I think I'll just be watching out for price to still sell off on EuroCAD. I would have loved to give us better entries, but I think for now, I think we can just be watching out for this on EuroCAD. This is looking like a 2-hour order block. It's just that this order block exactly is not order blocking the way I expect it to order block. All right, so let's just watch out for this on EuroCAD. Let's just watch out for this on EuroCAD. So for price to sell. All right, so I hope that is clear, Mr. Michael, I think. Was that Mr. Michael that asked for it? Yes, sorry, Mr. Fanny Besamo. I'm with you, sir.
I'm very sorry to unmute myself. I've been trying to type, but my messages are not dropping.
Okay.
So, based on the charts I've seen you draw now, I went down to a 1 minute, between 1 minute and 5 minutes on gold, and I'm actually seeing the same thing. I'm actually seeing the same thing on gold. Just the sell is not very long. It's more like a 80 pips drop from the present position it is. So I don't probably can help me look into that, sir.
All right. So this is one thing that we always look at doing. You got okay, yeah. So this is one thing that we always look at. Let me just quickly go back to gold for a bit. This is one thing we always look at during market review sessions. I'm guessing maybe this is the sell you might have been talking about on gold. One thing that we always do when it comes to market review sessions is that we're not looking at the lower time frames. So we're not looking at 1 minute, we're not looking at 3 minutes. All right, that's why it's called a weekly market review. So we're trying to have a general idea of what we expect to happen in the market throughout the week, not just for one day. All right, so we expect that if you are going to the 1 minute or you are going to the 3 minutes, whatever move you are expecting to catch is not something that you are going to hold for more than a day. All right, so that's the general idea. That's why you notice that for the most part, I didn't drop below the 4-hour time frame or the 2-hour time frame, or even maybe the 1-hour time frame. Now, even though that drop truthfully might just be able to last maybe just 80 pips on gold, all right, one thing that you then have to be careful is that every trader, all right, is more susceptible to being manipulated or is more susceptible to not seeing the bigger picture as far as they stay on the lower time frame. All right, so yes, some quote unquote bigger traders, or I get to say that, they just stay on maybe the daily time frame or they even trade from the weekly time frame. All right, and they might even tell you that lower time frame people are not, lower time frame traders are not profitable. If you know the trader I'm talking about, though, it's not me that said it, though. It's not me, it's the trader that said it, though. All right, but the reason why I'm saying this is because I want us to just have, the reason why I'm giving this, is because I want us to just have a general bias for what we should expect from gold. All right, so if on the 1 minute time frame, for example, maybe you are saying that price, give me a minute. All right, so maybe you are saying that price is going to react from, let's just say, all right, let's just say from somewhere around here, I might get to that drop maybe up to this point. Oh no, let's not use that. let's say up to this point. Let me look for somewhere a bit more. So let's just say up to this point, yeah. And let's just assume that was the move that you got to see, right? Using this as your current order block. While that might get to happen, all right, it might not necessarily give you the full time frame or the full aspect that you're watching out for, the bigger picture we're watching out for. Do you understand? So by all means, what I'm here to give you is a general bias or what I expect to happen in the market during the course of the week. So if you now find an entry for if you find an entry that corroborates with that general bias on lower time frame, by all means take it. All right, so I'm more of a swing trader, meaning that I'm watching out for my trades to play out in a week. In fact, sometimes they might take up to 2 weeks. I think I've actually waited for more than 6 months for a trade to play out before. So I didn't take the trade. All right, it was just analysis, and I actually waited for 6 months before price got to where I was watching out for. I think that was USD. Let me see if I can just quickly show us that. So these USDs are on, yeah. Can you see just a 1:3? Just a 1:3.5 trade on the daily time frame. And this is something that it started the 5th of October, 2023. And before it got to my TP was around June this year, 14th of June. All right. So one thing that we come and do here is just to look out for what exactly you expect the general move to look like. And then by all means, what I would advise anybody to do is go on lower time frames and look for entries based off of that. I don't expect you to have liquidity, or I don't expect you to have as much money in your account to just say you want to trade from exactly the zones that we've given. So we're just giving you a general bias, and then by all means, go to lower time frame, look for better entries, and like somebody will say, knock on better lot size. Do you understand that, King Ify? I hope that is clear.
Yes, sir, I do, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. No be me talking me knock on better lot size, but it's still me that is saying knock on better lot size. Yeah, so let's just go with that. So Mr. Jola Osho will not I said knock, hey God. We'll go into BTCUSD. Let's see BTCUSD. All right, so for BTCUSD, I think this was last week. I don't remember who asked me for BTCUSD last week, during last market review session, but I think we're expecting a sell up to this point and then a buy from there. We got to see that happen on BTCUSD. This is on the 4-hour time frame. All right, so I think on BTCUSD, we might be safe to watch out for sales soon. All right, again, now I'm just currently using correlation because I'm remembering what I'm going from a technical aspect. And if you remember, one thing I said during the last market review session is that BTCUSD is not something that is only just now then affected by just technicals. All right, BTCUSD can also be affected by the fundamentals, all right, or even sentimentals. One thing you have to watch out for is how exactly are people feeling. All right, so if currently people are feeling like BTC is a safer option for them, they might be interested in going and going to get BTC, and they might get to see BTC just rise. And it might not be something you'll be able to easily catch with just technicals. All right, so, and as I'm not the market, or I'm not the person that is telling people to go and buy BTCUSD, all right, I'm just watching out for the technical standpoint. So let's look at it. Technically speaking, I would be expecting a sell on BTCUSD very soon. All right, from this point, this is between 61,492 and 68,885. All right, I'll be expecting a sell from there. However, let me look at it. Let me put it like this. All right, currently we've seen price react, or before rather, we got to see price react from here. All right, towards the downside. We got to see price push towards the downside from here. This was a previous, resistance towards the downside. I am watching out for price to actually break above there. Reason being that I just want, now this again is not from a technical standpoint, rather this is more or less what I feel will be from maybe what should I call it? You can call it sentiment or whatever you want to call it anyway. All right, so reason being that I'm just seeing that there's a possibility for us to actually see more people invest in BTC during the course of the coming week. All right, a lot of times you see that people will move funds from the forex market into the crypto market, or maybe from the forex market into the stock market and all of those things like that. And then you might get your currency pairs might not be as volatile. They might not move as much as they would move on a normal day. They might just look slower, so to speak. But you might be seeing things like BTCUSD, ETHUSD, or all those type of cryptocurrencies. You see them moving, they'll be moving quickly. All right. So what I think we might be watching out for might be sales on BTCUSD. Again, I said the zone I'm watching out for is between 61,492 and 68,885. However, I want to be careful, very, very careful. All right, so this is NFA. This is not financial advice. You might be able to catch sales from here. All right, but at best, watch out for this. All right, maybe let me go down to the 1 hour time frame to explain what I'm saying you should watch out for. At best, watch out for this. This is a previous point here that has acted as resistance, or sorry, previous pivot rather. Yeah. All right. So if we check on the line chart, you should be able to clarify that. Yes. So this is a previous pivot on the line chart also, and we might get to see sells from there. But for me, this is what I would do. If I'm going to enter for a sell on this, maybe I'm trading BTCUSD actually on my account, and I'm going to enter a sell from here, I'll simply watch out for a lower time frame confirmation. What do I mean by that? I will not necessarily maybe set a pen in order to sell BTCUSD from here and then maybe put my stop loss maybe here. Maybe put my stop loss here. I won't necessarily do that. Instead, what I would do, all right, is to watch out for a lower time frame confirmation. So I might want to go to maybe the 5 minutes or the 15 minutes or even the 30 minutes time frame, all right, and see if I can get maybe a change of character on the lower time frame. So me seeing a change of character on the lower time frame is a pointer to the fact that possibly we want to see price continue bearish. All right, being that we've seen that price has been bullish, is what I mean. All right, giving us consecutive higher highs, higher lows, and all of those stuffs. All right, seeing that we're expecting prices to get to here anyway. So if I get to see that happens, all right, and I get to see that lower time frame confirmation, whether it's I'm looking for maybe a retest of a trend line or something like that on the lower time frame, or a change of character on the lower time frame, or maybe I'm even using my Fibonacci, or maybe I'm even using indicators that are telling me it's time for this guy to sell. Whatever it is, I'll watch for them on the lower time frame, and then that will give me a better entry into that trade or for that trade. All right, so I hope that is clear for BTCUSD, or what I'm at least trying to put out there for BTCUSD. You might be watching out for sales, but at the same time, please be very, very, very cautious. I am not a market maker. You understand? I'm just here to show you what I'm seeing on my charts. Right? I'm not a market maker. However, I know the one who made the market is God. So, no, that was a joke. I'll tell you that God should just tell BTC to just drop from there. You understand? You know, some people will be trading. Their trading strategies that when they have entered for the buy, do not start praying, God, let it buy. That's not what we're trying to do here. All right. So, all the same. Let's just watch out for this to happen. So, you might be watching out for sales from here, Mr. Jola Osho, on BTCUSD. Again, between 61492 and 60885. That's what I'm watching out for on or that's what I'm watching out for myself from on BTC USD. How that is clear, sir. That being said, all right, all of that being said, thank you very much for, let me confirm that we don't have any other commodity before I end today's session. No. All right, so thank you very, very much for joining us for tonight's market review session. Again, this is EasyFX Academy. If you don't know where you are, you should know that you are here by now. All right, so we'll be dropping this video on the YouTube. So in case maybe you missed something and you want to just quickly get more clarity on it, to be on our YouTube channel, or send the link, or the link will be sent to the group by tomorrow. All right, so do well to like, in fact, when you see it on YouTube, like this video, share this video, and I'm very sure we're going to have a profitable week ahead. I always say that I'm very, very sure our week is going to be profitable. But let me just say this, because this is more or less a motto for me right now, a mantra for me. Please be a trader that is very reactive in the market. Make sure that you're not working based on your feeling. You're working based on what exactly you are seeing the candles telling you. All right. So if you see that the candle or you see that the chart is telling you that I'm going to sell right now, don't say because I feel like price should buy, let me look for a buy entry. No. All right. The trend is always your friend. Work based on the interpretation of what you are seeing on the chart. And that is what actual analysis is. You're working based off of the interpretation of what the chart is telling you. All right. And again, I'm very sure we're going to have a profitable week. So thank you very, very much for joining us for tonight's market review session. We will see unfailingly, all right, in our next session on Sunday, next week Sunday. Bye, guys.